The European Union are becoming desperate, so they're begging China to stay friends with them. Hello everyone and welcome to today's vlog. Today is all about China and the European Union. Before we start, good news, I have a new mic. So no one can complain about the poor sound quality on my videos anymore. It's actually quite easy, it's quite tiny, but it's quite nice. So the European Union, let's talk about them because they are becoming so needy. Because they're losing the UK as one of their closest allies, in a sense, in a political sense, obviously, as a member. It's not like we're becoming enemies. And with President Trump being in charge of the US government, they're also having issues with America. So they're now begging China and Beijing for cooperation. Firstly, it's ridiculously poor timing of Brussels to do this. So what they've done is the European Union ambassadors have sent and have written an open letter to Beijing, telling them that, we need you, we need to cooperate together, let's be friends. And it's kind of embarrassing. So they sent this letter to China, the EU ambassadors, and but what China did in return was they actually betrayed the EU because they censored that letter when they published it. They took out the bits where they were talking about the current problems and the virus and everything. So the letter that China actually published in their press wasn't the full letter. Yes, China Daily, the mouthpiece of the country's ruling Communist Party, on Wednesday published a letter by EU ambassadors calling for greater cooperation with Beijing in what appeared to be a European attempt to seize upon the lack of US global leadership. So now a spokesperson for the European External Action Service, the EU's foreign service basically, has now said that it's not nice that China betrayed us publicly. I mean, what else did you expect? So they said they didn't have the green light to delete those references, and it's all kicking off because now Germany and France have a different view when it comes to this, and Beijing knows that they are in a stronger position and the European Union are truly desperate and they are in need of more cooperation globally. So they can just do whatever they want and Brussels can't really complain. Yeah, so this is China Daily, the Chinese state-controlled outlet that published the letter, and they said EU-China ties are vital amid the global crisis. And they've also said this year we celebrate the 45th anniversary of diplomatic relations between the European Union and China. I mean, both sides, whether it's the European Union or China, are control freaks. They are obsessed with centralizing powers. They're obsessed with monitoring everything, all the citizens that they have. So they're probably perfect for each other. It's a great match. But this situation is still developing, and we are waiting for a response from the European Union, official response, not just the complaint that they made about China Daily. And we'll have to kind of wait and see what they would actually do about this, because if they really want this cooperation, then they're going to have to betray their own values. Now, in other news, coming back home to the UK, we have the latest update on this NHS Tracing app thing, where they're going to know where you are in order to find out where is safe, who's not. So it seems to be still voluntary. They are testing it. They're doing a trial at the moment, and in Isle of Wight, and there have been some issues, some concerns about privacy and data. So what they've actually done is the UK government, for once, they've decided to listen to these concerns and not really do a U-turn, but do a bit of an upgrade in terms of the process to see how they can actually make this slightly more safe. Yeah, so what the government are now trying to do is to work with Google and Apple, use their model, because apparently that's safer. So I'm not really an expert in this area, but there will be other people who will be judging this and assessing it. I mean, because of the current crisis, everything is changing. All our lives are changing, the way we go about our day, and it's not just this app, it's the whole social distancing measures, it's a lockdown. Now this week the government are, today I think, they are finalizing the review into the lockdown, and I believe Sunday, Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, will be announcing publicly what the plan is, what's going to change from next Monday. Some shops might open. The police the measures will change. It will be more relaxed on a social level. And my issue with this whole situation is there have been some police officers, but also depending on the area and the town and city, some of them have been ridiculous in terms of the people in charge, because these are the people who order the staff and the police officers to do things. My problem is not necessarily the individual police officers, because they're just doing what they're told. It's the people at the top who come up with these orders. And we have a video where some young kids, teenagers, who are, you know, not the best example of our British culture. I don't know, I can't really see myself in this. Okay, the lighting is slightly better here, but as I was saying, there's a group of teenagers who were abusing one of the police officers just because, you know, he was trying to do his job. He wasn't even being forceful, he was just telling them to go home and stop hanging around in the park or somewhere. And it's not really nice. Let's watch the clip.
Come! How are you going to get home, officer? Where's your bike?
Come, How many cameras are around you right now? Yeah, I don't care. I'm doing the right thing here. Well, you want a stick off? Sorry? We do a stick off? No.
My daddy Pig said go home.
Guys, go home.
Okay, we go down,
Yeah, it's not really a good look, is it? As I said, this is not how the British culture should be. This is not how we should be treating, well, each other. And it's not necessarily just about the police officer. He was just trying to do his job. And yeah, all these kids, I'm really concerned about their upbringing and their parents who have produced these sort of creatures. So this is what we have. But in other news, let's talk about the Labour Party and one of the new Labour MPs. So this is Nadia Whittome, who is one of the new Labour MPs, and during the current period she's also been working as a casual worker at one of the retirement homes, one of the care homes, and she decided to talk to the press, complain about the lack of PPE, gloves and masks and everything at this care home, and saying this is dangerous. And then she was asked to leave her role, and now she's going around saying that they sacked me because I'm a whistleblower. Now, what's the truth behind this? Now, in reality, the care home is actually one of the, this specific care home is one of the safest that we have in the country. They also are fully equipped. They got thousands of thousands. They got 25,000 of PPE. They got 7,700 aprons, 6,000 masks, and there's absolutely no issue with that. And they actually sent a letter to explain the situation and say why they had to get rid of her. So in this letter, the management said that on Thursday, I was approached by several Larkhill residents, our staff, our head office team and executive, who were anxious about comments in the Nottingham Post around a lack of PPE. This is a position myself and the charity disagrees with and is not supported by the facts. Our protocol hasn't been met, and ongoing press coverage of Larkhill isn't benefiting our residents, staff or charity. Managing feedback is time consuming for myself and our wider team at a time of crisis when we simply wish and need to be focused on our day-to-day work, protecting our staff and residents' lives in the community. I mean, these people are trying to do their job, and they're doing a great job because everyone's safe in that care home. And Nadia, she's going around talking to the press, you know, giving out fake news and lies just to get some attention. But this is not the first time she's lied about things. Back in October in 2019, there was a tweet that asked her, "Did you go to a state school or fee paying?" She replied, "State." And then said, "Just curious, I knew a Nadia Whittome at Hollygate Junior School." Now, this is the reality is she actually herself said, "I went to a private school from age 7 to 11 years old, and my experience taught me why they shouldn't exist." She went to a private school and then she said, "No, I didn't." Right, I was going to go to Tesco to buy some stuff to cook, but I feel a bit lazy today, so I might actually just get takeaway. I know it's a bit disappointing for a lot of people, but yeah, I need a break every now and then. I want to say a massive thank you to all of you for supporting me throughout this whole time, especially the members. I'm planning something really big very soon. Seems like the whole lockdown measures would be slowly be lifted, but in terms of overall and mass gatherings and everything, probably it's going to take about a couple of more months, 2-3 months, probably less, I don't know. Some people are saying July, we don't know. But whenever that actually happens, I'm already planning something really big. As you know, I was just about to start my free speech tour around the country. We were going to go to Manchester, and a lot of people bought tickets and we had to refund them all. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to bring that back and do a massive event, a return of the Maya at some point, so when we are free, and then we're going to actually relaunch the free speech tour, and I'm going to have some special guests with me when I go on the tour around the country. And if it's actually quite successful, because I know that we have a lot of people watching this from Europe and other places, we might be able to actually come to your cities, wherever it is. Could be Germany, could be France. So it depends on how, because I've been creating some connections with the conservative leaning parties across Europe. So it'll be good to come and visit you guys wherever you are. But thanks again for watching these vlogs, and also the news show that we have at 5:45 p.m. Hopefully the sound quality on this was good. Have a great evening. I'll see you guys tomorrow with a new video.